Welcome back to the Three Amigos podcast. The boys are all here. All four of us are here. You got Justin with a brand new background, looking very good. I like it.
I'm in my living room.
it.
Oh, you don't like
Christopher
my background?
with a brand new background as well. Don't like it as much. Missed the cow. So that was getting there, and you interrupted it.
The cow will return.
Dirty ass garage. Welcome, boys. And McCham, who you won't know where he is because you don't see him.
Secret location.
But we had an exciting week of football. A lot of games. Somehow, the three of our teams were playing this weekend, which was a shocker to all of us, probably.
Isn't that insane? That all three
Just
of our
shocker
teams
for you.
were playing in the playoffs this year.
That was a little weird.
That's pretty cool.
A little weird. Not used to that. But I think we should be starting it off with the only team to absolutely win by 1 point. And that's all you need in a game to win. To take us to the burnt down kneecap diner.
Oh gosh, boys. I mean, do you believe in miracles? I mean, this was absolutely magical. It's everything I hoped for going into this year. I told you guys, like, my expectations were to win the division and win a playoff game. And the Lions absolutely delivered for me this year. Finally. Did you guys, I mean, Justin, I know that game occurred after, your game. So I don't know. Did you even watch the Lions game?
I was over football.
I completely understand. I would have been the same way. I wouldn't have watched either. But it was electric. The stadium was hype. Detroit was ready for this. We booed the shit out of Matthew Stafford. Like, we don't give a fuck. We wanted to win. This was our time to win. Were you about to say something, Alex?
Oh, I was about
Stafford?
No, not about Stafford. Listen, man, we just gotta stop him on the run, and I think we'll be good for the rest of the game.
MCDC.
So good.
I want that man's portrait tattooed on my arm now. Like, build him a statue outside of Ford Field. Like, he came and delivered something that I have not seen in my lifetime. I have never seen the Lions win a playoff game, and I have never seen them even play a playoff game at home. That was Ford Field's first ever playoff game, besides for the Super Bowl between the Seahawks and the Steelers. That's the only other playoff game that's been at Ford Field.
That's crazy.
That's sad, actually.
The only team to win a playoff game.
It's been open since 2001, and
the only team to win at your home stadium in a playoff scenario was the Steelers before last week.
Yes, and I just can't believe it. But you know what else I can't believe is 6 days prior to that, boys.
Jesus, it's one after the other.
Okay, buddy.
6 days prior, my boys in the different shade of blue with some maize won the Natty. Oh my gosh. Not only won the Natty, but they retired Nick Saban. He is no more in college football, and they are reigning supreme. They are the kings. I can't even explain. This is the greatest football season of my life. Seeing Michigan win the Natty 6 days later, seeing the Lions break this playoff curse, this horrid streak of losers. This is amazing. Like, I can't even put it into words like this. I'm feeling confident about this Bucs game. Can we lose? Absolutely, we can lose. I'm feeling good about it, though. But let's say we do lose. This is still the greatest season of football in my life. Easy.
100%. I agree with you. You got a Natty title, which you guys have been after for a while. You took care of Big Ten business for a minute.
Yep.
It was like you guys were losing a lot in the Big Ten. So it's like, now you finally got that back. And then it was like the elusive title you got last year. Was it
success? Yes.
TCU came in.
Yeah,
absolutely
TCU spoiled us last year. Yeah.
And then you come into Alabama and you're like, not again.
Nope.
Not again.
And we took care of Alabama. We took care of Washington. I mean, this is just beautiful.
Wild to see you guys absolutely retired. I don't think you guys retired Saban, but it got to feel nice to retire Saban.
We got to be his last dance. I'm sure he was
feel
going to
nice.
retire at the end of the season, no matter what happened. But
and then to absolutely demolish a new rival.
Yep.
That had to be nice too.
Oh, it's not going to be a rivalry. They're going to have to be good for it to be a rivalry. They're
they
not going to
lost
be
their coach to Alabama.
They lost their coach to Alabama. They're losing 10x.
Everybody. Yeah. It's like TCU all over again.
Like I hate to say it to the Washington fans, but they're going to get kind of shit rocked this first year in the Big Ten until they kind of get together. I will say they made a great hire. They hired the U of A coach. So great hire. Now U of A is going to tank.
Yeah, they are.
So McJam should be very
McJam
happy.
must love that.
Yeah. So I mean, this was absolutely. I'm still on cloud nine. I just can't believe that the Lions.
All right, turning it back to the professional side.
Yep.
Gotta feel nice to like the MCDC in classic fashion. Was he dipping on TV?
He's always dipping on TV.
That's amazing. I just love MCDC for who he is, and to actually win a playoff game, the way you guys did it too, it didn't feel like a 1-point game.
No, we started off the game super dominant. We were just driving down the field, score. In the second half, in that third quarter, they really were able to slow down our offense. We weren't able to really do much in the third quarter, and they were able to claw their way back. I did get nervous right there at the end. Obviously, I was like, oh boy, Lions are about to lion. Like, what the fuck are we doing? But I would say the majority of that game, we were in control, no doubt. The only thing that was frustrating is, I saw like Matthew Stafford, he would just get the ball out. It didn't matter how good our pass rush would be. He would dump it off to his running back, and then the running back would get a first down. It was like, oh, wow.
Hutch got a sack though, right?
He got 2 sacks. One of them was like a very easy, like Stafford fell on the ground and he just had to touch him type of a deal. But like Stafford and Puka were like magnets. Like anytime he slung the ball to Puka, it didn't matter how good the coverage was. Which, mind you, by the way, Alex, if you want Cam Sutton back, you can have him.
I'm
back.
busy. We're busy.
We don't need that
busy.
type of bullshit.
No, we're busy.
Oh, okay. Busy sitting on the couch?
No need.
Okay.
No need for that. There's a lot of teams sitting on the couch. There's a lot of us. Not just us.
But Puka was just grabbing everything.
There's a lot of teams. Like there's like what 28 other teams on the couch right now.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Well, we do call it the 3 of me, bros. So, Chris, I have to tell you,
yes.
One, seeing you this jitty and excited about Detroit sports, I think it's the funnest thing ever because it is so like when I think about Detroit sports, I think of a clown of losers for a large part.
Not in all of Detroit sports.
Most of them.
Red Wings, very successful franchise.
Okay.
Pistons.
Since I've been alive, the Red Wings were good, but
Yeah.
we don't watch hockey that much. But when you think of big sports, well, the Pistons had the bad boys for a little bit, but they haven't been shit since. You have had horrible Lions teams. You literally set the worst record in the NFL at one point.
Mhm.
And on top of it, Michigan wasn't that really good until recent years. They were good, but they weren't the best. They weren't a powerhouse like you want them to be. So it's been so fun. And I think you said, I don't know how to sum it up. And I think you just can say like, this is Detroit. This is Michigan. This is Michigan sports. Like, I think it's just so exciting to see everybody get around it. And it's cool because you talk about all the time how you guys, we actually love football. We're better than Ohio because of football, even though Ohio is like the birthplace of football, quote unquote. Right.
That was the birthplace of a lot of
things. It is so awesome to see even all your Lion fans get into it. Boo Matthew Stafford. I thought that was hilarious.
He was salty about that.
I bet he was. He should be a little bit,
A little bit. I get it.
All the fans, but at the same time, you have to understand that's how it goes. Congratulations on all your success. I hate you for saying the natty, and I knew your face like red, lit up with so much excitement. Alex, you looked like a kid on Christmas Day opening up a box of presents just so you can talk about the natty.
Oh, the natty.
We're hanging out with him. That's all Sydney said he was talking about right now is the natty.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, it's all I should be talking about. And I'll tell you this right now. If the Lions win this week and they go to the NFC Championship this year, this season, the state of Michigan is football.
Yeah.
You
guys have a great potential to do it. I think if any Tampa Bay is good, but they're not that good. And
watch out for Baker.
You just have to survive your secondary and hope Baker doesn't have a good game.
I know. That's my biggest fear.
Dude, CJ was a great addition, though.
Yes, but he's doing a little bit too much talking for my comfortability before this game against Baker.
Yeah, that's what happens when
Not a big fan of that, but we'll see how it plays out.
anything else to add?
I have nothing to add. Do you have
Because
any
we could talk.
questions?
I just had one other thing. Did you guys see Matthew Stafford get like knocked out in the game?
Yeah.
And then wake back up.
If that was a
Dude.
regular season game, I don't think he gets allowed to keep playing.
I don't know how he went like this.
He looked like he forgot.
But he like it was quick. Like really,
Yeah.
if you didn't see that video, you would not
Yeah.
known.
No,
He knew, but he was like, "Fuck it, like I'm playing."
The
only-
only thing I didn't like about Stafford in that game, other than having to go against him after so many years of rooting for him, was did you see the tackle that Kirby Joseph had on Tyler Higbee?
Oh, where yeah.
Brutal tackle, but it was what it was. When you're a little DB, that's how you have to bring down tight ends.
but also the NFL's going that way because if you hit
Yeah,
anywhere near
you hit
head
too
at
high,
all,
you're getting fined.
you're getting flagged. You're getting 15 yards
You
and you're
guys
getting
wrap
fined
them
at
up,
your
you ain't
box.
bringing them down.
Yeah, you ain't bringing them down. There's no other way that he's bringing them down, which is that kind of and they even said it on TV. They're like, you ask 9 out of 10 big tight ends where they want to get hit. They don't want to get hit in the head.
Yeah,
They don't
they'd
want
rather
to get hit in the knees.
head than,
Not getting hit.
the
No, they
knees.
don't want to hit in the knees.
But Stafford went up to him after that and told him he's a dirty player. And I think that's bullshit because that's how you have to
Eagle
take
move.
down a tight end when you're that little. And I'm sorry, but I witnessed it for so many years when Stafford was on our team. He puts the ball in not the ball. He puts his receivers in dangerous situations. Look at Megatron. Why do you think he retired early? He was sick of getting fucking murdered out there because Stafford's throwing high balls across the middle where you're going to get wrecked as soon as you get the ball. Like
It was also nice to see him there, though.
what?
Megatron.
Oh yeah, Megatron was there, Barry was there, Eminem, like so many people came out
There's
to
a
that
lot.
game. I learned that
Oh.
Taylor Lautner is a gigantic Michigan and Lions fan. I didn't know he was from Grand Rapids, but like
So now
he's
you're
dropping
turning
money to be
Team
at these
Jacob
games.
now.
I
Yeah,
that's
he
what I
is
said to Sydney. I'm like hashtag Team Jacob.
I'm fucking dead. Dude, and talk about Jared Goff. I think the city loves him right
We
now.
love golf right now. Yep.
That's
Build him a
insane.
statue next to MCDC.
Dude, what a good combo and what a crazy time. I'm excited to see where you guys go. It's crazy that you're literally in this position. And who knew? Last year, I remember last year, mid-season frustration brewing.
Second
fired.
team.
He was get out of here. Gone. Jared Goff, fuck this dude. Now look at him. He's all in, bought in.
Well,
sold.
you guys know football is all about what have you done for me lately? And lately they've done quite a bit. And but you know what? You know how last year we talked about, hey, Tom Brady's gone. Like I need that secondary team to root for. I don't know what team that's going to be, but I can tell you it's whoever drafts JJ McCarthy out of Michigan. That'll
yeah.
be I will follow
I hope
him
the
wherever he
Steelers
goes.
draft him. We'd
I
love
will-
your company.
I will actually be a Steelers fan. If
Let's
that-
go. I think we're done with the Lions. We get it.
Yeah, I'm done. I've
They want-
jizzed all over myself over here. I'm good.
Oh, right. Thanks for doing that in my head.
You're what in your
I'm gonna
I did
throw-
it on me, not your head.
I'm gonna throw it over to Justin because I can't really intro my own thing. So I'm gonna throw it on over to you to throw it back to me.
Okay. Now you allow me. So well, it's still important, but it's not as exciting, and it's here to clock in, and it's here to go to work for the last shift of the season. Sadly enough, here he comes crawling out of his little steel mill. Mr. Alex, bring it home, baby. Tell us
All right, thank you.
about us.
Thank you.
Season.
Nothing I can say but impressed. Happy we were there. I would have loved a victory, but when you're on your third string quarterback and your wide receivers haven't been playing that well and you don't have your best player in, what more can you actually expect from this team than to really go out there? And at one point it was a 7-point game. Like if we have, not saying that if we have TJ, we win that game, but if we have TJ, maybe they do stop them on that next drive. And maybe we get the chance to get the ball back with like 4 minutes left to see what we can do. Who knows if we would score or not? But there is that like, man, if you have TJ out there, you don't that stop on that, like when it was 24-17 is like a big possibility. Which would have been fun to see. But hey, it was a good season. It was actually fun to watch. That game was a lot closer than 31-17. They got that last score, and then we just couldn't get down the field. First, I kept saying we need to trade Deontay Johnson. We still need to, but he was like the bright spot in that offense this last week, which was funny. Yeah, all around fun game to watch. It was I forget because Big Ben had kind of put kind of a sad curse on us when it came to playoffs. You knew that if for the last like 4 years, 5 years of his time, if he get the playoffs, he was getting bumped in the first round. You didn't know that this year because you didn't know what team we had. So it was fun, but it was fun. It was good to watch a playoff game and feel invested and be like, wow, okay, this team maybe could do something if we can draft a good quarterback, or if we can like get something like if we can like maybe get something. I know JJ.
Yeah, you already mentioned it, but it didn't click until now that what you're saying is you're ready to move on from Pickett.
I mean, I
Yes,
think
it is absolutely what he said.
hold on.
He won't say he's going to protect himself, but I bet he's so
No.
happy that Kenny didn't actually play the game.
Yeah, because I would have lost the bet. But what I'm excited about is that I want Kenny to have a true like quarterback battle, because I think if we go in with the quarterbacks that we have now, it's going to be Kenny. Like, why are you playing Mason? You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, why are you playing Mason? It's like he won some games, but like, can you justify that to play him the full season? It's like just going to end up being Kenny Pickett again. So I'd love to see a quarterback be drafted to see maybe, hey, let's have a full quarterback room. Like let's get Trubisky out of there and let's have a good quarterback competition between the three of them. Let's see what happens, right? And maybe it's Pickett and he can't do it, and then we put the new guy in, or we put Mason in. It's like whatever, right? Maybe we run a college system. The first 3 games, we're going to play all 3 quarterbacks. Who knows, right? But I think it's funny. I think it's nice to hear that Tomlin said we're going to get a quarterback friendly OC next time. So that must mean he has somebody in mind. Don't know who
Mexico.
it's going to be.
Who?
Opposite of Matt Canada.
Yeah, please. Anybody that's not Matt Canada. Yeah, but I think this is overall a good season. Tomlin's coming back for the next year. That meme of him when he got asked, "Are you coming back next year?" Before he walked off. That was so good.
Well, it shows him just like who he is. Like, you don't like.
I just lost this playoff game with my boys. Why the hell you ask me about that?
Yeah, questioning already.
How
but
do
it's
you
like
feel about
Mike McCarthy?
How do you feel about that though? Not being asked about it, not him walking off. How do you feel about him coming back?
Listen, seeing what's going on out there, there's no guarantee that you get a good coach, and we have a good coach. I feel like maybe Justin's in the same boat as this, and he might touch on it in the Cowboys corner. But it's like, yes, there's a lot of good coaches out there, but what if you don't get that good coach? And now it's like, oh, we got rid of Tomlin for what?
Well, the dude, this is what makes me mad, is the dude still got you to the playoffs. He didn't win a playoff game, but he got you to the playoffs. Like, yes, you talk about mediocrity, but he's doing it with a mediocre team.
And I almost want to change the word from mediocrity to consistency. Like, hey, at least every year, you're coming into a Pittsburgh Steelers fan that you have the potential every year legitimately to make the playoffs. Now, what happens in the playoffs after that? That's the next question of like, hey, we do need to like start winning a playoff game, right? At a certain point, right? You get it. Like,
okay.
But it's like you at least hold on before you go on your rant. Let me finish this thing. All I'm saying is it's nice to know, like, and thinking about it more and more, like the Belichick's out there, but you take Belichick, he's got 3 years left and he's done. Tomlin's still young. Like, we're going to have him for a while. And it wouldn't be surprised. He's only got a year left on his contract. I wouldn't be surprised if he has a 7-year extension before the season starts. Like, I think he's going to be our coach for the next 10 years. And so I think it's just like time to say, okay, hey, if he's going to be our coach, let's back it. Like, let's have some fun. Like, he's at least going to get us to the playoffs, and maybe we can actually get an OC that will bring us in, or a DC that, can utilize his tools a little bit better. And our defense was great, but not down the stretch. It didn't go that well, and we did let some big plays. So we'll see what happens, though. It's gonna be fun.
I'm glad you finally admitted to this and that you're into it, because I tried to tell you from the fucking start. Did I not?
Yeah, you did. You did.
Be chill, bro. You're
Yeah,
just
yeah. Hey, I'm here. I'm chill.
You're here. You're here. Well, hey, cheers to you for making it. We all didn't even expect you to fucking make it.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Here we are.
And you guys, that was probably one of the craziest weather games I've ever seen in my entire life. The fact that they had to move it, it was insane watching how much snow was being dumped. But that's what you get for being Buffalo. And then here's the thing. So, Chris, you talked about this one, and then we can be switched on to what's mine. You talk about wanting to play in the elements, and you said, well, Detroit should have an open thing because of elements. But there's situations like this where they can't even play the fucking football game. They had to move it. Like, in places like that, do you guys not agree that not that it should be required, but like there should be some type of way that you have a indoor stadium for situations like that?
I love the outdoors. I love the snow.
Yeah.
I'm good with snowballs.
Well, I don't remember what the new I don't know what the new stadium is, but the new stadium that got proposed, I don't think it's Nashville, but the Canopy Stadium, where it protects the fans, but it still allows that on the field. That's cool. I like that.
Yeah, that is cool. I like that the fans are getting paid $20 an hour to come shovel snow out of the stadium because of how much was just piling up.
That's perfect.
It looked like it too.
They didn't even they didn't even get it all out.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Well, boys,
I guess my comment to you, and actually, you know what? No, we'll let Justin go.
We don't need to talk about
it. It applies to both.
Yeah. Overall, I'll end it here. Good season. It was fun while it lasted. 10-7. Made the playoffs. Good for you, boys.
All right. Put on your boots. Strap on your belt. Put in your 6-shooter. Saddle up your horsies. Because it is time for... I don't know, Justin. How intense do you think this one deserves? I
think it should be sad. I think it should be depressing.
Okay. Well, ride solemnly into town and take a seat at the very sad Cowboy Corner. Justin, take it away.
Thank you. What is bad is very fucking miserable, actually. It was disgusting. That was probably one of the most brutal games I've ever seen in my entire fucking life. It was awful. And from the get-go, like, our defense did fine. I wasn't worried about that. I was like, first, they score the first drive. It's like, whatever. Let's get some opportunity to go back on offense. Our offense goes out there, looks a little shaky. You're like, all right, maybe it's just a series. They get the ball back. They score again. You're like, okay, well, you have to score here. You score here, you get the ball back. It's going to look great. And then they just look so out of sync, so disconnected from one another. CD and Dak were like not in the groove. Michael Gallup was our start. Like, he literally helped us begin the game. I don't know what happened after that. So straight up, not gonna lie, I watched him drive all the way down the fucking field. I watched him throw that pick sick, and I watched that dude run, and I said, turn off. I'm done. I can't watch this fucking game any longer. This is the most miserable thing I've ever seen. How do you do so well in a season just to end up getting you didn't just lose, you got your fucking ass rocked at home, the place you've been the best at all fucking year. And then we're doing all this dumb shit on defense. They're saying they're playing in the zone. They never play zone. They're always playing man. Why the fuck are we doing that? Like, if it's worked for you all season long, why the fuck are you changing it and making it so different and difficult? I watched it with my dad and my parents, and we were all over it. It was my mom doesn't really care about football. She does. She just supports, but she goes, that was super bad. That's how I know. Yeah, it was pretty bad. Oh God.
How about your dad?
Yeah, so I did not watch any of the second half. I kept on my phone and just checked on it and see what it is. I mean, 32 points, at least we scored something. But Jesus, I mean, yeah, it was over after the freaking first quarter.
I will say they kept it. That second half got a little bit closer than I thought it was going to be. I was like, ooh.
It really got close just right at the end.
Yeah. Well, and here's I'm really there's no one to blame. I don't like really. They all looked out, like I said, out of sync. They didn't look ready for this game.
Yeah.
Dak was playing great. He was actually putting the ball on the money, but everybody was dropping the fucking balls. Like C
Oh,
dropped the
dude.
open pass, Jake Ferguson dropped the open pass. Brandon Cooks, that interception, like Brandon Cooks, like, dude, you were right. Fucking like it was right there in your fucking hands. Like, oh, it was so frustrating. So I like everybody's like hating on Dak for it too, but I don't think it's that. And I think Mike McCarthy, they can't even blame that. Like, dude, I mean, it just seemed like it wasn't our day to win. And I really don't know how else to explain that or put, but that was very embarrassing. It's so sad. And I literally had to take off my shirt. I didn't want to wear anything Cowboys.
I
Yeah, it's like I'm
That's crazy.
done. So over it.
It was kind of, I'll be honest with you, it's kind of sad. I was rooting for the Packers because I was like, man, I can't fucking imagine a world where the Steelers are the only team to lose in this like thing. And I'm a big Lions fan right now. And then the Packers won, and I was like, I shouldn't have been rooting for the Packers. I feel bad now. Like I was like, this felt like the most Cowboys year that there was in a while. And I was like, damn, like, is it just Steelers in the same boat? Is it just like we're gonna have coaches that get us to the playoffs, and then it's just like we're gonna keep continually doing that one and done? What do you think it's gonna be for the Cowboys going here on out? Because I don't think it's Dak. I don't think it's your offense. I don't think it's your defense. I just think it's you happen to play the one team, well, maybe the defense, but you happen to play the one team that is unbeaten at AT&T Stadium in the playoffs, which is kind of insane. Or the one
Well,
coach.
I think just like you, we need to stop choking.
Dude,
Like, I don't think it's fucking a lot. It's not complicated. It's fucking simple. Just don't fucking choke.
in the big moment.
But like in defense of our defense, one, Michael got two holding calls for the first time all year. So
Yeah,
we
isn't
were
that funny?
excited for that. We were also out with our best cornerback was out. Our second best quarterback just had a shoulder injury literally the week prior.
Ooh.
And so our defense is kind of banged up on the corner front, which is an excuse because everybody else and our linebacker core was shredded. Like we literally had a dude that played. They had I can't remember his first name, but Bell played literally quarterback, safety, linebacker. He ended up playing linebacker the rest of the season, and we did as well as we did. So like you can't. It wasn't anybody's fault, and they still played like it wasn't the defense. If the Cowboys offense didn't give it away so many times, our defense was gonna hold up. They've always done it. They may, lose one here and there, but that's fucking football. Everybody gets scored on. But when your offense literally was doing nothing for you, like they were literally doing nothing for you, you're just gonna get fucking tired. So I'm okay with the season, and I think when you talk about like we were in similar boats in the sense of our head coach, right? What the hell was going on with that? All right. I everybody has their own opinion, and this is my opinion. I understand why. I don't know if it's my favorite thing. I don't know what's going on, but I understand why. It was really his first season that he had control of the offense completely, right? There was no Kellen Moore. It was him and Dan Quinn. That was it. And our offense put up amazing numbers. We were one of the best offenses in the league. Dak was literally an MVP candidate. CD had arguably his best year ever. I think there's definitely we need to go after some pieces. I think we need a big back, a good running back. I love Tony Pollard, but he was not the man. And I think we need to also get some backups for our linebacking, like our linebackers. We need some big boys.
I don't get why when Van Der Esch went down this season, he went down fairly early on in the season. Jerry Jones didn't do shit to replace him.
I think it's hard because maybe it's who is it? What do you have to give up money wise? This, and that. And they don't. I don't see Lane. I don't see he don't come back. I don't think he's coming back
No,
because he had a neck
got to
injury.
be done by now.
Right. So like I think it's about over. It's our curse because if you guys remember Sean Lee.
Oh, I remember Sean Lee.
I have yeah, so it's just one of those things I think for us too, we can't get that going, but I think there'll be some stuff in the draft. We'll see what we do in free agency. I don't know who we're losing or what we got contract wise, but basically Mike McCarthy has one more year on his contract. So he did great. He did good. He did a good season. Like if you look at it and said, "Hey, how was the season total before the playoff?" Dude, we had a great season. We went 12-4. Was this the most disappointing playoff game? I think this weekend for sure than the Eagles. But both of us decided to drop the ball. So at least it wasn't just us. Thank God for the Eagles losing the ball. So I appreciate that. But yeah, like I mean, and then I think when you talk about it, I know you're going to ask this question, so I already thought about it. Is like Dan Quinn. You talk about him. Is he staying? He's leaving. He's a candidate for all these other jobs. There's places that he might like to keep. And I understand losing him would suck, and it would be a big piece to our defense. But you don't know really what the conversation is behind closed doors. And I always think about that heavy, right? Because, all right, no offense, if you'd rather be at Dallas being a head coach or at Seattle being a head coach, and what if Jerry's literally like, hey, Mike McCarthy has this year. If he doesn't do this year, like we're looking for a new head coach and we would want you. And you go, so would you stay one more year and see what this team can do? And then if not, it's all yours. I would stay in Dallas over Seattle. I probably get a lot more luxuries. I probably get paid a little bit better than I would in Seattle.
You are
And
a
It's
rare
emotionally
Cowboy
ties.
fan.
What's up?
I said you're a rare Cowboy fan because after that game, it felt like everyone in that Dallas community wanted Dan Quinn the fuck out. They were done with him.
Here's the thing that I get, and this is where I'm not. You guys understand that I always will be a rational person. Like I take emotion out of it, and all those people are just fucking emotional. And at the end of the day, they're only saying it because they just want to stop losing. And it's like everybody else. Like they literally did the same thing for Mike Tomlin when he lost. And like literally, why would you get rid of him? If it was you guys, you'd be talking about Run. I don't think you would lose Run DMC, but people would talk, oh, fire him because this, that. Anytime you're going to lose those situations, they're going to want their heads. He's been here 3 years, and this is his 4th year. Chill the fuck out. Like, it's going to be all right. We'll figure it out. It's 1 more year. He has 1 more year in his contract. Just take it, eat it. It's not like he did bad. He just terribly lost his playoff game. But you kept Jason Garrett for almost 10 years, and he did the same thing.
Yeah, that's
funny.
Like, just and they kept giving him contracts. No, just let this dude ride it out and see what happens and go from there. At the end of the day, like it was working. Something was there. We even made that comeback a little bit. So I think that shows, like, dude, if being at 48-32 is actually not bad because could have been so much worse. And it just goes in, next year would have to be it. We'd have to see it. And if it's not, then yeah, no, it's time to move.
And I almost just think it is winning a playoff game, getting the playoffs, and just winning a playoff game. Even if you lost in the second round, same with us. Like, hey, win a playoff game and show us that you can do something. The crazy part too
1-3 in the playoffs. And since
the one thing that was crazy to me and that I forget, it is so damn sad to see the teams that lose. Like just watching the games and then they show the other teams. I'm like, I forget how heartbreaking it is in the playoffs. Like you just realize your whole season's over.
Yeah. And I like that Dak takes accountability, but sometimes I just want him to be like, yeah, it wasn't fucking me. I don't know what to tell you. Because it wasn't him. Like they can take accountability, but that wasn't your fault.
Him and CD got on it towards the end, but in the beginning, they looked a little bit off. Both like their connection was like he overthrew CD or he ran the whatever that was happening. It was like, whoa, what the hell is going on? I haven't seen that, and I've been watching a lot of Cowboys games just to like.
Well, I think there's something that we should do before we leave it out on this because there's apparently a new segment we're adding, and I'll just be the one to do it because it's so exciting for this gentleman. Because while I lay in misery, this one rises. So our homeboy McJam, the Mister doesn't talk a lot. He likes the Packers, second favorite team, but he's Arizona raised, so he's committed to the Cardinals. But it's time for him to rise and go Pack, go baby,
go Pack, go.
Go Pack, go. Thank you. Just want to say first, always a Cardinals fan first. If the Cardinals and the Packers are playing, I'm going for the Cardinals. But I do have family in Marshfield, Wisconsin. Been there once. So Packers are my second team.
Shout out Marshfield.
Shout out Marshfield. But yeah, great game. Underdog, gotta love it. Jordan Love played great. And yeah, just good.
Not fucking fair. It's not fair that they can just keep. I know it's only one season, but they can just keep getting these quarterbacks that it just seems like they're just going to keep winning.
He looked so good. He put balls on the money when I was watching. I said, "How?"
as a Detroit fan, you got to be pissed that you're like, how? Like this guy, they got another. Okay, you're done.
No.
He's just so happy about his win. We'll
No,
talk to him.
it's not. It's what you just said. It's his first year. There's a lot of guys who come in and look at Mac Jones. Mac Jones looked good his first year. Now what?
I think he's
So
still
it's
good.
not that I'm not
He's still
worried,
good.
and it's not that I'm not going to be pissed if
I
he
would
comes
love
out to
Mac
be
Jones.
amazing, but there's still a lot of time to be
Over what we have now, I would love Mac Jones.
really. Okay, so McJam, congratulations on the Packers.
No, let's
Just
go back
so
to
you
McJam.
know,
You keep
my
going, McJam.
biggest fear is the Packers beating San Francisco. And you might think that's stupid because if the Lions win, they get the conference game at home against the Packers. I do not want to play the Packers in that game because if we lose that game, I can't think of anything more heartbreaking than having the Packers end this amazing miracle run. I would rather lose to the 49ers than lose to the Packers, no doubt. So just so you know, I am shitting my pants about that scenario a little bit. But
I'm going go Pack go.
fuck you,
Let's
Alex.
go.
You are such a flip flopper. My
I'm a
God.
I
Lions
told
fan.
you he is.
You
Yeah,
are
I am.
Uncommitted as fuck.
But
I
also,
root
Alex, you
hard-
are sitting over there, and I'm actually I was gonna say this for both of you, but Justin kind of convinced me a little bit on Mike McCarthy with it only being his third year and whatnot. But you sit over there sometimes and you act like a Lions fan. You are a Steelers fan. You should not be satisfied with just going to the playoffs. You should not just be satisfied with winning one playoff game. That should be me. That's me after never experiencing that.
Hey, Mister,
yeah.
have one coach that actually does something in 30 years. Calm the fuck down.
Guess
We
what
have
the Lions
three.
did? I can't even tell you how many head coaches I've had in my life because when they see it's not going to work out, the coaches reach its ceiling, they get
Hey,
rid of them. What is the
hey,
definition of insanity, Alex?
Hey,
Doing the same thing.
no, it's not. That's
over and
that's
over
not
and
the definition of
expecting
insanity.
results.
That's not
Yes,
the
it is.
definition. No, it's
That
not.
is.
Look it up. It's not the.
McJam,
It is not
give us
the definition.
of
Look it up.
Okay,
insanity.
McJam.
he's
Look
being
that shit
literal
up.
with
It is
little
not the definition
Webster's
of insanity.
dictionary.
Actually, I thought it was Mister. We're Michigan. We're not Ivy League, but we're really smart. You have to be smart to get in here.
Hey, dude, how long are you going to say Mike Tomlin's good enough to be the Pittsburgh Steelers
Wait.
coach when they don't do shit?
We're not there. We're not talking
Wait.
about that anymore.
Wait.
Yes.
McJam.
Technically, the definition is not doing the same thing over and over again. That
Oh.
was traces back to a mystery writer, Rita Mae Brown. From
Rita Mae.
1983.
Famous saying.
Rita
So
Mae.
technically, insanity is the state of being seriously mental ill.
And you are because you're expecting the same thing over and over and
Yes.
over, being okay with it.
At what point is that not going to be good enough?
Boys, I would love to keep going here, but I got to dip for 15 minutes because
Oh, of course you do.
it's bedtime with my baby boy. So I'm going to have you guys finish up the talk about whatever you're talking about. I'll be back in
Wow.
15.
Okay, Mike Tomlin,
Okay?
you got to walk out of the press conference when the question gets hard.
Well, congrats, McJam, on your Go Pack Go. Fuck
Thank
you.
you.
Yeah, fuck
Thank you. Thank you.
Dude, that game was so shocking. It's so shocking. Obviously, that was a game where I didn't really care who won because I was going to enjoy the losing team no matter what. But obviously, with the playoff implications, I was pushing more for the Packers to win so the Lions could have another home field game. But that game got ridiculous where I was just like, they don't look prepared at all. Like
No.
they showed up and expected the Packers to do the complete opposite of everything they're doing, is what it looked like.
Dude, they came out and smacked us in the mouth
Yeah.
right from the get-go. They said, we want the ball, we're going to score. And they fucking did it.
Yeah, that was wild.
But we want to talk about games that got out of hand. Let's talk about that Browns and Houston game. First off,
Oh my God.
I thought the Browns would come here and fuck them up a little bit because that defense was
That
dirty.
defense is nasty.
CJ Stroud said,
Yeah.
No.
Hey,
That
you know
dude-
me. You know how much I hate Ohio State. So this really means a lot to say that CJ Stroud looked so good. Like
So good.
scary good in that game. He is
Did I
going
not?
to be a great pro.
I told everybody, I said, dude, no, it's not Bryce Young. It's not. He may be athletic, but he's not the guy. It's CJ Stroud should be the number one pick, and he is showing why he should have been the number one pick. And this Houston team, is actually a pretty fun team to watch in the playoffs. They're going to lose next week, unfortunately, but I really enjoy them playing.
But just the fact
And-
that they made it this far. Like he had a couple overthrown balls, but pretty much everything was spot on the money.
Yeah.
Like it was perfect ball placement.
And dude, I
And
remember I looked
what
up
was
and I said,
funny?
damn, that's a score 45-14.
Yeah. Well, now they benefited by getting 2 pick sixes back to back that really amped up that score. But I mean, their offense was going off. And the best part is, in the state of Ohio, there's Bengals fans and there's Browns fans. And there is a lot of Browns fans who are Ohio State fans,
Yeah,
obviously.
they are.
And they just watched CJ Stroud not beat Michigan for 2 years, only to watch him absolutely demolish their Browns. I
Yeah.
love that.
Dude, D'Amico Ryan, coach of the year, 100%.
It's between him and Dan Campbell.
I know you're really happy for Dan Campbell, but they were supposed to be good this year. Houston was not. I
They
think
were
everybody
supposed
counted
to be
Houston
good,
out.
but to finally break the barrier after 30 years to win a playoff game, that counts for something. But yes,
Yeah.
absolutely, D'Amico Ryan deserves it too. I can't deny that. He went into that organization. Everyone thought they were going to suck. They're very much rebuilding, and they won the division.
Yeah. And then you got the next game, Miami and Kansas City. I thought that one was kind of just Kansas City just took care of business. I don't think it was anything exciting. It was exactly what the Dolphins would do.
Well, they were missing their O line for the most part. It's in that. I mean, I just saw a video earlier today of the fans that were crazy enough to go to that game. Their beers were freezing, like they literally were turning to ice in the stands.
Really?
It's like, yeah, that I mean,
That's
for a
crazy.
team from Miami, you're not winning that game.
I saw the waters would come out and they were going right to frozen. And that's what I'm telling you. I know it's all about the elements, but man, that's different. That's not even fun to go to those games and watch those games.
The tickets were apparently really cheap, obviously, but it was weird to see a Kansas City playoff game and the stadium was half empty.
Yeah,
That was
it
weird.
was. And then now they get to play their first road game ever. But we already talked about Pittsburgh and Buffalo, but Philadelphia, dude, they got demolished by the Buccaneers.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Pretty single hand. I mean, we got cooked and that was unexpected. But it felt like the Philly just couldn't do anything on that game. Baker had the time of his life.
That fan base turned on Sirianni in the last few weeks so fast.
Yeah, dude, you see the viral video of some guy throwing popcorn on him and shit like that?
Yeah, I
You know,
saw that. Yep. They want him
dude,
gone.
just like what we were talking about with Alex and what they're doing, how everybody's always after that. Dude, he literally just took you to Super Bowl the year before.
Yes.
He still made the playoffs, and now you're calling for his head. If they fire him, they're fucking dumb and ridiculous.
You're literally a couple plays away from winning the Super Bowl.
Mhm.
But yeah, they were 10-1. And if you would have talked to an Eagles fan up at that point, they would have told you how they're the best team in the league. Sirianni's a great head coach. And then they finished. Did they even win a game after that? They didn't win a single game after that. They won one game after that 10-1 start. Yeah, that's brutal.
Super brutal. I think it was against the Bills.
You're right. That is, I just can't. Would you want Sirianni gone? No, right?
No.
Yeah.
No, dude, he just took you to the Super Bowl. It's one
Right.
season. He still made it to the playoffs. Now you guys went out, but that happened to the Steelers. Literally, I can vividly remember the Steelers going 10-1 and losing out all the rest of the games, still making the playoffs.
They actually
Then
went 11-1 and then lost the rest of the games. Yeah.
So it's just no, it will it's chill, dude. But that's again, it's the crazy fans. It's those highly emotional. They're irrational. They just want win, 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 and they feel like this guy's not going to do, another guy's do it. But there's sometimes there's a process to it. There's a longevity. I think I watched another video from Dan Campbell when he first was there and talking about hey, you guys need to trust me, trust the process, trust these things, do these things because there is a way and a path, and sometimes people think the path is tomorrow, right? It's all these get rich schemes. Well, dude, it doesn't work like that all the fucking time, sometimes it has to be something where you're rolling into it and getting in the hang of it, and boom, then you see what the team's able to do. Then they build longevity off of that. So, and he fucking just took it to the Super Bowl. So chill, Bill. But I'm excited that the Buccaneers won and the Philly is out. That was really, at least if anything could have salvaged that weekend, that
I
was it.
figured that would have made you happy, and
Yeah.
I was happy about that too. I think the Bucks are a slightly better matchup for the Lions than the Eagles, but I think we
Yeah.
would have handled the Eagles too at this point. So
Dude, 110%. You guys definitely would have. And I really think this upcoming game you guys have, which we'll get into. So we can't wait to talk about it. But we'll just talk about this first game. And Alex isn't here to really do his predictions, so he can really figure it out.
can
But
we can probably guess what his predictions will be.
okay, so we got Houston at Baltimore.
He's obviously taking Houston.
Mm-hmm.
We're
Jam, would
both
you agree
taking
with that?
Baltimore. McJam, who are you taking?
Yeah, I'll take the Ravens.
Yeah.
Dude, it's 100% the Ravens. I'm so excited. The whole only thing I'm worried about is after getting this bye week, how are you feeling? What's all those things like? Because with the Ravens, I'm definitely going for them. They could be the scariest team. They could win the Super Bowl easy.
Absolutely. If in fact, if they get out of the AFC, there's no doubt in my mind they're winning the Super Bowl. No NFC team seems to be able to beat them. They have this like weird magic about them against the NFC. So it's up to the AFC to knock them out.
Dude, I hope so. Hey, what? Okay, this could be fucking real. It could be a Ravens Lions Super Bowl.
I would be okay. Obviously, I would be so excited just to see my team in a Super Bowl, but that is, as far as Super Bowl matchups go, that is the worst case scenario. Like I'd rewatch that Lions Ravens game over and over, write up my own tips of what I see, and send that to the team just to make sure that they're not missing anything because my God, that was such an ass whooping. Like I don't want to relive that.
Well, dude, we'll see, man. It could easily be. And if they do, I have a question. Would you actually go to the game?
If the Lions make the Super Bowl, will I go up to Vegas and go to the game? Depends on if I could get a decent ticket. I'm not spending $2,000 to go lose. But if I could get a decent ticket, yeah, I'd go. I'd definitely go. Or if someone was just like, hey, let's go to Vegas and at least party in Vegas, find a cool spot around the city to watch the game and then celebrate afterwards. If I would definitely do that in a heartbeat, no doubt.
Yeah, that'd be super cool. All right. Well, we got the next game. It's our Saturday night. It's going to be the Green Bay Packers at San Francisco. This is your worst nightmare, Green Bay winning this game. But
A little bit, yeah.
I think San Francisco's got this in the bag.
I would think so too, but I mean, we saw last year injuries can happen at any time. You know,
Yeah, but they're
McCaffrey
not
goes
injured right
down,
now.
Bosa goes down, uh, Brock goes down. Like at any point, like shit, they're done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always. But you know what? It's a risk we're willing to take, and I think that team's great. If that team stays healthy, they're a great team.
They're
And
a great team.
I know the Packers are definitely going to give them a run for their money because they're looking hot and they're looking really, really good. And I hope if Jordan Love plays like he did last week, it will be a good game.
Yeah.
But that defense is healthier than our defense, and they got to deal with people like Fred Warner and all these other people, and you know Bosa, Young. You got a different type of crew up there, and they want to win. They want to prove people wrong.
If they win, that's going to make me question Aaron Rodgers a little bit.
Why?
Because he's supposed to be this like ungodly quarterback, but as soon as he leaves, the team still reaches the same amount of success that they had with him. It's not like Brady, where as soon as he's gone, we watch the Patriots just fucking fall apart. Like,
well, they didn't do good. They did good 1 year after him.
they did
had
one.
Mac
They
Jones,
did one
did
year, but they
good.
got blown out in the playoffs by the Bills that year. But that was Mac Jones' first year where he did really well. But Aaron is the king of taking them to the divisional and conference championship game and then falling short. So if Jordan Love can do that at his first try, what does that really say about the impact Rodgers really had on that team?
I was going to say the same thing for Brett Favre and the Rodgers.
A bit, yeah. I mean, the Packers, maybe they're just that well run.
You just hate the Packers. You just hate Aaron Rodgers. Any way to hate him. But
Well,
anyway, we all
actually,
know.
Rodgers had a rough first year. His first year as the starter there, he kind of sucked. He didn't like suck, but like the fans were not happy with him by any means. Where Jordan Love is immediately taking them deep
Yeah.
into the playoffs.
We'll see. We know Alex will pick the Packers at this one because he's
Oh,
going to go, Pat, go, because that's what he
Yep.
said. And hey, that's what I told you, dude. Alex is a fake, bro. He goes back and forth between teams like nobody's business. That's where he's like, "Oh, I'm a Michigan fan." You don't want him as a Michigan fan because next week, you know what he's going to be?
An Ohio State fan.
Yeah, he's just going to turn. He was literally Penn State like last year. Every year he's going to pick a new team, or he's going to go Michigan State just to piss you off. Even worse.
He can go join that dumpster fire. I don't care.
Yeah. And Chris, you're going 49ers though?
Yeah, I think so. I think they edge them.
All right. Well, then you guys go pretty early. This game's early on Sunday. Tampa Bay at Detroit.
Yep.
And man, if this Detroit doesn't win this game, I'd be shocked. I want you guys to win so bad. If this is the team I'm rooting for right now through the playoffs, is the Lions. It's so exciting. It's fun to watch. I like watching these teams do well that haven't done well ever. I liked it when the Jaguars were doing the same thing. I was, rooting for them because I like that, man. Dude, we're not a good team and you're finally having success. We want to see the success.
I think I'm obviously picking them too. I think we should win. We've already beaten them this year, but now we're back at home. Like, I like our odds. But Baker definitely still playing with the chip on his shoulder.
Yeah,
he looked
should
great.
be.
So I really hope our defense has answers for Mike Evans.
A pair of number one overalls going at it. Do you think Alex would pick the Lions too?
Yeah, he'll pick the Lions in this.
Yeah.
Pair of number ones who got tossed aside to be sent somewhere else.
I know. All right, this one's going to be interesting because Kansas City is playing at Buffalo.
Yeah,
for the big game. This is going to be an epic game. This is going to be crazy because the last time this happened, it was in Kansas City in Buffalo, and that was that overtime game that they got rocked. Obviously, they played in the preseason. They played in the regular season before, but it was that playoff game that everybody talks about right when overtime. It changed the rules. It changed the way.
I thought that was in Buffalo.
It was It was in Kansas City. Kansas City has never played a road playoff game. This is their first ever road playoff game with Patrick Mahomes. Mm-hmm. And so I'm so excited because this time it's all Josh Allen's court. This is his moment to shine, and if he doesn't shine, I don't know what you do. I'm going for the Bills because I think the Bills are going to win this, and I don't want to see Patty Mahomes. I'd rather see Josh Allen in this.
That's what I would prefer. But for whatever reason, my gut's telling me to pick Kansas City to actually win.
You can do whatever you like because your gut's most of the time wrong.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go Kansas City then. But I'm rooting for the Bills.
Alex, I don't know who Alex would pick here.
You don't know?
No, the team that kicked him out of the playoffs?
Probably.
Or the team that's dominant in the AFC?
No, I bet he picks the Bills.
What do you think, Jam?
I'm going Bills, and I think Alex probably go the Bills too.
Good. He would say, "Fuck you, Chris," and be very aggressive about you picking the Chiefs.
I'm just banking on that maybe Allen and the Bills have a mental yip against Kansas City.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Well, man, that wraps it up, dude. So, hey, let's good luck. I hope these games go well and it'll be a good time. Dude, the other thing I think you wanted to talk about was these coaching changes.
Yeah, and, so many coaching changes.
Yeah, dude. Where do you want to start? Who?
Do you want to start with a person or a place?
Oh my God. I mean, you take me away, Chris. I'm on your
Then why don't we start with both? And I'll choose Bill Belichick in the Atlanta Falcons because that seems to be where he's heating up. There were obviously rumors after your playoff game that because of Bill's relationship with Jerry, that Bill would come to the Cowboys. But not like all signs are pointing to the fact that he's going to the Falcons.
Why the Falcons?
The leaks that I've seen that are coming out is he still wants total control on the roster. Jerry ain't giving him that. And B, he wants a bit of a project to work on. I don't know why he didn't view the Patriots as a project the
Yeah.
last few years because of how much work they needed, but whatever. Like I think he's still a great coach. He's still like one of the best of all time, no doubt. But like
Yeah.
he has whiffed on quite a few draft picks in recent years. They could have had DK Metcalf,
Yeah.
and they didn't.
Who
Like
they picked? N'Keal
they could have
Harry?
had AJ Brown, and they didn't. And they picked N'Keal Harry. And I'm sorry, Jake. He was looked at as a top prospect coming out of college, but it just didn't pan out for him.
He didn't do
Um,
shit.
And Bourne, they got rid of Bourne, and he's doing well for himself. Couldn't do shit with it. Like I don't know. It's just like at what point do you maybe hand over those duties to someone else and you just worry about coaching? But
Yeah.
I think he'll do really well for Atlanta if he goes there.
Well, I didn't. I also heard other places, but I can't remember where. Chargers were a little bit, but you think it's more
Yeah.
Falcons now at this point than any other team?
I think it's more Falcons for Bill. I think the Chargers, if I had to place money, I would say if Jim Harbaugh leaves Michigan, that's where he goes.
That'd be fun, dude. He'd have one of the best quarterbacks in the league.
Yeah, he'd have
He would
Herbert, and I think he would do very well there.
Do you want him to leave?
Of course, I don't want him to leave. I definitely want him to stick around. But if he was going to leave, I think this year is probably better than next year or whatever. I think we have the obvious replacement in Kellen Moore. I'm sorry. Not Kellen Moore. Sorry, don't want him. In Sharon Moore, the
Sharon Moore.
Michigan offensive coordinator who took over as interim head coach this year for a few of the games and whatnot. He's technically the one who beat Ohio State. Like he's the obvious guy to go with. He kills it at recruiting. The team loves him. Like he's the clear head coach. There's rumors that Brian Kelly would be interested in the job. We don't fucking want Brian Kelly. You can stay down there at LSU. We do not want you. So if Jim goes, now is the time to go. But I definitely would prefer that he stayed.
Understood. That's crazy. And then who else were you thinking of?
Well, it's not really a person, it's a place. I don't really know who Seattle gets. Do they get Dan Quinn because of the connection? I don't know.
I think emotional ties, maybe, because sometimes people do that, but I don't know him as a person and what he would do. But I mean, even if I don't think it's really a situation you kind of really want to walk into because it's going to take some work. I mean, you got an old veteran that you guys just signed, extended for 5 years. You know,
Wait,
DK's
Geno Smith is 5 year.
it was like 3 or 5 years, wasn't it? McJam, can you fact check that? About how long his contract was or extension was, but it wasn't like I know it wasn't like a little tiny one. But it just there's a lot of rebuilding to do into that. They have put themselves in a position to do something. I'm sad that Pete Carroll was actually leaving. I don't think it was his fault or anything that he would have done differently. They were riddled with injuries all season.
Yeah, I don't get why he got pushed out.
So, but I think he's still being a part of it.
Yeah, he is. But you can tell he still wanted to coach.
Yeah, but then that's why I don't think Dan Quinn, because he won't actually get all the team. Does that make sense? What's up, McJam?
He signed a 3-year contract.
3 year, okay.
Still, I mean, that's 2 more years.
Yeah. And I think Dan Quinn wants to win now. I think he sees it. Like, I'm telling you, like, he sees it buying to us. Like, that's what McCarthy told the media today was buying to us. And I think he's bought into us. He knows that we have the potential to do it. All we need to do is stay healthy. I don't know who Seattle would land. I mean, there's still a lot of people like Ben Johnson could potentially go there. It depends on who they want to go after too. Are you trying to look for a defensive coach? Are you trying for an offense coach? And they're mediocre across the board. Doing whatever they do, they may just get something. Because I know Pete Carroll is more of a defensive guy.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So like, do they stay that route and do that, or they want some change? Because I don't even know I can't remember who the head coach was before Pete Carroll.
I can't remember either because it was so long ago.
And so like it's just a new era, and to see what they're going to do will be very interesting for me. to see. But yeah, I
think
don't know.
Carroll's
Man.
been there since 2010.
That's crazy.
It was
That's-
Mike Holmgren from 99 to 2008, and then Jim L. Mora Jr. for 1 year,
Oh yeah, Jim
2009.
Mora that guy's funny. Um,
But they say
yes,
like Ben
Ben
Johnson's a
Johnson,
great candidate to
great
come.
candidate. It sounds like Washington's really into him.
Oh, okay, Washington.
Yeah, they really want Ben Johnson.
But what they have? What's his bucket? Eric,
The
right?
enemy.
Maybe.
Um, yeah, that's interesting. I'm sure he is interviewing for the head coaching job. You know what's funny is until you said that, I completely forgot about him because I have not seen his name anywhere about anything.
Oh.
So I'm gonna have to look into that, see if there are
Yeah,
any rumors
that's
around.
interesting because he literally just signed for the OC,
Yep,
and I mean he was considered a head coach position before. Would
yep.
you not just keep someone that's already in the building?
And to be honest with you, his stock should have only gone up this year because they did pretty well for being the OC there. And Kansas City's offense looked like it took a step back.
Yeah, I
And
did.
up until this point, we've thought that offense was all Andy Reid, but
Yeah,
clearly the enemy played a strong role in the culture of that offense that was
110%.
lacking.
Yeah,
So
so that'd be interesting too to see. And I can't even remember who else doesn't have a coach right now, to be real.
um right now I think that's it. Charge or well, technically the Raiders, but it seems like they are
Yeah,
definitely
it
going
seems
to
like Pierce
hire
is the man.
Pierce. Yeah.
Yeah,
Max Crosby already said he doesn't want to play for anyone. Like he's requesting a trade if anyone else gets hired.
damn,
So
really?
yeah, that's apparently what came out. Um, so it's hard for me to think anyone else is getting that job.
Right. Well, I got nothing really else for the NFL, man. I'm just excited for this week for football. I mean, I'm not really that excited anymore. I'm going for the Lions, man. It's just so sad. This is depressing. But you're out, you're out. I can't throw a fit. Just got to accept fate and be done with it.
That's a good way of looking at it.
Yeah,
And
man.
maybe
Well,
next year.
maybe next year. Maybe next year. I know there's obviously still some sports going on, and there's some things. I really haven't kept up with the other sports as of late. I don't know if you have. And look who just got back.
I've been keeping tabs on some things, so I can tell you right
What's up,
now,
boys?
in college basketball, both men and women's Michigan teams have beaten Ohio State this year. So Ohio
Oh,
State is just losing Michigan in fucking everything right now. But other than that, I haven't really paid a lot of attention. I've been so invested in football the last
yeah.
month that I couldn't focus on anything else. I've been that deep into it.
Same. I haven't even watched anything with basketball. I just was looking at their standings, and the West is like we all expect the East, but the West is insane right now.
Is it?
Guess who the number one team in the West is right now?
Um, Denver? No, I'm gonna say it's not because
Who
that's
else?
too obvious.
Memphis.
No.
Let's see. If I had to,
Why would Memphis be it? What's his face is done for the year?
yeah, I know, Josh. Not for the. Let me take an actual guess at this. In the West, the number one team, you would think it would be Phoenix or Golden State, but I'm gonna go with no. You would
Golden
think,
State's not that good.
yeah, it can't be the Blazers.
Is it the
No,
Lakers? Is it your boy LeBron?
No, it's the Timberwolves.
the
What?
Timberwolves are in the.
Good for them.
Okay, so first off, it's all like this can change in a week. But right now, the Timberwolves are the best at 29 and 11. Oklahoma City Thunder is number 2 at 27 and 13. Then it's the Nuggets, 28 and 14. And then the Clippers, 26 and 14. Pelicans, then Kings, then Mavs, Suns, Jazz, Lakers, Rockets, Warriors, Grizzlies, Blazers, Spurs. The
Man, I
Spurs are
thought the Suns would do
absolutely
better than that.
fucking trash. But so are the Portland Blazers. And
It's-
even
we're in a
Golden State.
rebuild. We're in a rebuild, bro.
Golden
Don't
State
hear it.
doesn't even look good. They're 18 and 22 right now. So I mean they could
Don't
still
worry,
come.
Alex. I won't
like
give you any trash talk right now.
Yeah, someone didn't win a
Basketball.
game in all of what, November?
yeah, dude, they're 4 and 37. At least the Wizards are tied with you. You're one of the bottom 3, but not
Hey.
the bottom.
What we do, bro. It's what we do out here. It's what we do.
So-
I know you guys. already talked about this, and I know I'm gonna backtrack a little bit, but
Oh boy.
Jesus.
I know. Did you guys talk about the games already?
What games?
Yeah, we all
From
of them.
No, we didn't
Yeah.
talk about anything.
You're done. You win one game. He wins one playoff game in 30 years, and he thinks he's the shit.
Well, here you got. Okay, we're gonna give you a minute recap. You got 60 seconds. Hey Siri, set a timer for 60 seconds.
Actually, no. Let's ask Alex his predictions on those games and see how close we were. So let's run through it.
On which
Houston
games?
Ravens.
Who's winning Ravens Texans?
Texans.
Who's winning Lions Bucks?
Lions.
What's the other Saturday game I
Niners.
missed? Oh yeah, Packers Niners.
Jake, watch it. This is exactly what he's fucking gonna do. He's gonna turn on you so fucking quick, and he knows it because you can't root for the Packers in this game.
Niners.
How about Chiefs Bills?
Bills, baby.
Okay. Yep. I think we only got one wrong.
Which one did you get wrong?
I think we thought you're gonna pick the Packers with.
Listen. I have had CMC on all of my fantasy leagues, and he did nothing for me. So you know what? Fuck him. I'm going Packers. Yeah, he didn't win me any championships. He didn't win me anything. He made me lose at actually 2 championships.
Did he make you bench Jonathan Taylor? I'm just wondering. Because if so, like Christian McCaffrey's an asshole for that.
Yeah, fuck Christian McCaffrey, dude. I hate that guy. No, I still think that the 49ers beat them. There's no way that the Packers really, not that there's no way, but
He just said "Go Pack Go" was all invested in the Packers. Literally jumps on again and says, "Yup, nope."
before this podcast ends, I'll get back to you boys. But I wanted to get my 1 minute recap on the games of yester.
60
give him
seconds
60 seconds.
now.
That's what Rose
Okay,
does.
thank you. We had the absolute crazy game that was the Browns versus the Texans. Was a really good game. 2 pick sixes in a row. Kind of insane. And then we had the Bucks and who the fuck did they play? The Eagles, right? Absolutely atrocious game. East Coast time zone of an 8:30 start. Ain't flying in my hood anymore. I went to bed at half. And then it was I'm gonna be honest. And then who was the last game I'm missing? Was there another game besides us 3?
Well, the Lions.
Nope.
Okay.
Lions.
We already covered the other game.
Oh, the Chiefs game, right?
Yeah.
The Chiefs.
Okay.
That game. Who would they play?
The Dolphins.
Thank you so much.
I don't think your recap is going to be pretty accurate if you're like, who do they play?
The Chiefs Dolphins. The Dolphins came out poor and didn't really do well, which I think we all guessed with the minus 23-degree weather. And Andy Reid's mustache looked pretty great.
I see.
That's all I had for you. And I do think that the Texans are going to beat the Ravens because I just like
You hate the Ravens.
I think we can just sum it up to I hate the Ravens.
Yeah.
I think that
it's the first time you're honest about like your feelings with that. We're done. We're done.
Yeah, his recap is over. 60
Yeah, I know. Now I'm recapping the.
He's recapping the recap.
The recap the future now. Okay, and then so I think that's why. And then I think that the 49ers are going to beat the Packers. I love Jordan Love, and I'm go Pack go, but I just don't think it's realistic. And I think that the Lions beat the Bucks because if I'm really going to be riding a team this year, it's going to be the Lions. I put that in there and you're like, oh, you're going to turn it back. No, I think I'm going to be riding the Lions till they inevitably die or they win it all. That's what I'm going for right now.
How every playoff team works. You ride them until they inevitably die or they win it all.
Yep, or they win it all. And then, so I think that the Lions are going to be too much for the Bucks. I really like Baker, but I think the Lions are going to be too much for the Bucks. And I think the most pivotal matchup of the whole weekend is going to be Chiefs-Bills. Josh finally gets, it took us, 5-6 years to get Patrick Mahomes' first road playoff game. I think Josh finally gets it one over on him, and I think it's going to be Lions-Bills in the Super Bowl.
Fair enough.
That's my prediction. Lions Bills in the Super Bowl. And I actually don't care which team wins. I know that I'm like, oh, I'm riding the Lions. I wouldn't be mad if the Bills
You
won, though.
you just proved Justin right. You just proved Justin right. Didn't you just say I'm going to ride them until they inevitably die or win it all?
Yeah, and if they lose to the Bills, I'll ride the Bills. I gotta let you
That's
guys
not
know.
how it works, my friend.
I'm riding the Bills in the AFC, and I'm
no.
riding the Lions in the NFC. I don't have a team in the fight anymore.
Whatever.
Well, I don't have a team in this fight either because I'm done arguing about it. So, besides that, I think Alex, you came in, wrapped it up. Just what a great ending. Your minute and a half, 3 minutes, 4 minute, whatever recap it really ended up being. We're proud of you. Welcome back.
Yesteryear
We had
and
a great
future
time.
year.
Hey, I get it, man. I was into it. I liked it. I made
It was
sense.
a fortnight.
You did enough Alexisms in those 3 minutes that it was worth it.
Are we wrapping it up right now?
Yeah.
What
you
else
got
is there
anything
to
else?
really discuss?
I don't know. I just wanted to just hang out and talk to you guys,
Okay. How
Well,
are you doing?
Good. Well, I think that's it for the boys on the pod today. McJam is moving locations. I don't know what is going on over there. And there's a dog, which you'll never see because McJam is a mystery. Boys, it was a pleasure. Justin, I'm in the same boat as you. Kind of sucked coming on this podcast this week. I mean, it probably sucked a little bit more for you because we had no expectations, but I feel you. Lions, per the usual, sucks to hear Chris be good as a Detroit fans because he's going to rub it in your face until they inevitably die or win it all. And at the end of this day, it was fun to hop on the podcast. If you don't follow us already, go on all socials at the Three Amigos Podcast, all socials. If you don't follow us, you can give a big fat Ohio fuck you because we hate Ohio and fuck you.
we don't hate Ohio. You hate Ohio. Chris
I
hates
think,
Ohio.
yeah, two-thirds of McJam. Do you hate Ohio?
Yeah.
Thank you,
Three-fourths of us
McJam.
hate Ohio. That means we hate Ohio.
All right, let's sign it off. Go blue, natty baby.
I'm a Michigan fan too. Go Blue.